Welcome back, everybody. This is Yarrow, and we are taking down Murphy's Ghost again, and a friendly version of Murphy's Ghost, which I believe is a trick. It's a deception, really. The undead, they all must be cleansed from the earth, because, well, from Lilgamin, I believe this world is called, because, you know, they're a mockery of the living, and their very existence is in fact evil, and it would be wrong of me to allow such an affront to the living to continue existing, and a ghost is an affront to all who live. So anyway. I'm trying to make a joke here, but it's not really working. Just get on with it and kill the ghost. Murphy's ghost was killed while I cast a Sopic. 751 GP each, so a little bit more gold. So yeah, you could potentially just run back into this room and keep farming them. Keep farming them, keep farming them. He's a friendly group of Murphy's ghost. I just want my alignment to change, but it's not changing. I might have to do a little bit of research and figure out why the alignment's not changing. But I guess you get a bit of a chance for alignment change, and it just all depends on certain factors. And I'm just coming up. It's not coming up Millhouse for me. Okay, thrust violently at Murphy's ghost. Oh, Murphy hit me. Murphy. It's like Alex Murphy. Huh, maybe it is Alex Murphy. Huh? You know, Murphy could be the surname, right? You know? And, you know, in this fantasy setting, instead of becoming Robocop, he becomes a ghost. Alex Murphy. Sorry, I'm kind of, you know, going off on a tangent or whatever, but let's face it, you know, this isn't really new stuff. This is the third time I'm fighting this boss, so, you know. And yeah, you wouldn't see this in modern day RPGs. You know, you'd get a chance to fight the boss once, and then you'd move on. And then maybe in a certain mode or whatever, you could fight the boss again through some sort of means, or at the final battle, you'll have to challenge all the bosses that you've fought before, like Chrono Trigger. Now, maybe I'll talk for a minute about Chrono Trigger, because although Wizardry was the first RPG game that I ever played, I never really got super into it. Bear in mind, this was, you know, Apple II, right? So, you know, it required a little bit more information. Like, I kind of understood it a little bit, but, you know, I was at the age where I was more attracted to, you know, kind of reflex Twitch sort of games or whatever, right? Like Mario and stuff. So, I went to a friend's place, and he had Chrono Trigger, and I played it, and I was immediately hooked, and I couldn't stop playing it. And I think it was actually his birthday party, and, you know, everybody was, like, outside, I don't know, playing, you know, I think they had, like, you know, like one of those slip and slide water slide things or whatever, and like little kiddie pools, and, you know, a big water fight with water guns and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, I didn't really care. I just wanted to play Chrono Trigger, so I basically played Chrono Trigger until, you know, a parent intervened and said, hey, go outside and play. But you know, because I was only, you know, like 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, this game sort of at least taught me, you know, kind of the basic idea of an RPG. I should maybe pay a little bit of attention. Make sure I'm not getting killed. No, Murphy's not really killing me. So anyway, yeah, so it kind of taught me the basics and kind of, you know, how an RPG sort of worked, right? So when I played Chrono Trigger, I was like, oh, you know, this is kind of like Wizardry, but, you know, well, obviously, you know, technology, you know, Chrono Trigger came out like another 15 years later, and technology, there's a lot of advancements, not just in terms of graphics, but in terms of what you could do with the actual gameplay, right? And it was just a really compelling game. I liked all the characters. I liked, you know, how it was a story that you could really, you know, interact with. You know, at first you have to, you know, Oh, there's that whole bit where you get sent through time. Time travel was really cool. Not whole bit. I mean, the whole point of the game was traveling through time. You had to save Marl because she's kind of the love interest, and something happens to her, and you got to like rescue her by some sort of convoluted means, and you'd end up going to the future and meeting a robot and stuff. So I mean, I really played played that game extensely, just in that kind of one sitting or whatever, right? And then I played it and then I forgot about it. Not so much forgot about it, but I just never kind of really went back to it because I didn't have a Super Nintendo of my own, right? And then can Yarrow do a Dumapic? No, he cannot. So I'm gonna have to be flying a little blind here. Nobody's dinged and nobody's leveled up. We got some more money, but that hasn't really helped. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the stables, get my priest to sleep in the stables. Trying to just mentally sort of figure out where I am. Ooh, a strange glow seems to emanate from this room. In the center, a smallish man in a long robe turns toward the party and shouts, "Begone, strangers!" He slowly raves his hand and chants, "Mapiro Mahama Diromat!" Wow. Oh wow, and that's like a warp right back to the castle. You can maybe take advantage of that. Pardon me. A little bit of hydration there. Anyway, so I was intending on coming back here anyway. So Septimus, sleep with the horses. Yarrow, sleep with the horses. Let's do a little inspect. Now, I'm pretty sure they didn't have it in the game where you could actually look at that next field right there and see how much more XP you needed to get to level up. I think your only means of checking to see how much more you needed for a level was through just going to the stables or resting in the stables or in a cot or wherever, right? And it would tell you, oh, you need however much to level up, but it wouldn't actually say on the screen. So I mean, the Super Nintendo version is a little bit better because it kind of brings, some of those modern sensibilities over to the game. And some of them were maybe cut just due to, performance issues, right? The Apple IIc, I mean, as powerful as it was at the time, and we're talking, kind of 79, 80, 81, before I was born, let me assure you. As powerful as it was, you still didn't have unlimited memory, like, well, we still don't have unlimited memory, but, just for even what they were doing, just to display a couple columns of text or whatever, that was a significant, part of the program, right? And they didn't just really have carte blanche to do everything. And, I should be moving around, navigating menus as I'm talking. But anyway, all three of our fighters never died, so they've got the most experience. All right. 8,500. Jimbo's way behind, but he's at level 4. Everybody else is level 5, almost level 6, but he's really close to level 5, right? So thieves do level up faster. Ooh, and I just realized. So Yarrow, me, I am now evil. Haha. Take that, and I got 2 kills. Okay. Still need quite a bit of experience to level up. But yeah, all our fighters are probably going to ding. Especially if I fight Murphy again. Or Murphy's ghost. Actually, I think my party got... Nope, my party did not get fractured. But... yeah, so all our fighters are good. And the rogue mage is evil. Now, usually when you go back to town, you just get kicked out, right? The party, yeah, you just gets kicked out. So that'll be interesting to see if I can actually go into the maze. I can go back into the maze. Now, it shouldn't let me. It should immediately split apart the party. But I think if I ever drop Yarrow from the party, I can't add him back in. So I'm not going to do that right now because, you know, so it is a little cheesy, little, you know, taking advantage of some quirks in the game. But yeah, or if I go to the training grounds, then yeah, I won't be able to get him back into the party. So I have to keep the party back together. And maybe he didn't get kicked out either because I got teleported back, right? So that's definitely a thing. All right. So I apologize if you've been suffering through all my rambling. I just got a lot to say sometimes. All right, that's all his Dios. All right, so we're gonna test it. Hopefully I don't get kicked out of the party. Yeah, it's kind of silly that I, put myself in the party, but I'm in the party. Deal with it. All right, sleep in the stables. This is I don't know, janky. I don't think that's really, you know, I think that's kind of a British term or whatever. But yeah, it is cheesy, you know, just, okay, well, I rest in the tavern, or I rest in the inn to get my spells back, and then I just go into the dungeon and just heal up that way. When I first played the game, I didn't realize that you could do that either. But there's kind of a lot of sort of little exploits or whatever that you really had no idea about. Like, for the longest time, I had no idea about the AC exploit, right? And I guess it's not really an exploit because the game allows you to do it. But, oops. Well, I hope you didn't just waste a spell. Alright, so, yeah, that part's a bit boring. Anyway, I'm just going to cut it off right here, and then, well, not right here. Hold on. Hold on one sec. You'd suffer through it just a little bit more. Go to the edge of town, go back to the maze, into the proving of the mad overload. I just saw that. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off here. See you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.